Estás viendo la cobertura especial de la visita de The Cure a México. Solo en TELEHIT.
Esta es la visita de The Cure, después de más de 25 años de nunca haberse aparecido por la capital azteca. Bueno, pues hoy TELEHIT los tiene en exclusiva con absolutamente todos los detalles. Estamos aquí en el Domo de Cobre con la visita de The Cure. ¿Desde hace cuánto fan de The Cure?
Toda la vida.
Toda la vida.
Toda la vida. Fue mi primera canción que escuché de The Cure. Fue lo mejor que me pudo haber pasado.
Te deja una imagen, te deja una forma de vestir, te deja una forma de ser, una forma de pensar. ¿Qué más te deja?
Pues algo así que me voy a llevar, yo creo que hasta que me muera. No hay algo que esperábamos tanto, trabajamos nosotros y no hay posibilidad de salir a estos conciertos. Y ahora que vinieron, igual sí hicimos todo lo posible por estar en A.
Oye, y cuando tenías 13 años y asistías seguramente a la secundaria, ¿te gustaba vestirte ya desde ese entonces como Robert Smith, pintarte los labios, el peinado extravagante y demás?
No, me llama mucho la atención. Aparte de que es estrafalario, extravagante, tiene algo especial. Tiene un toque de magia que se va no solo en la vestimenta, sino va en toda su música, en todo el glamour.
O sea, llevan un tour por la República. Son de Fresnillo a Monterrey, Monterrey, Ciudad de México.
Los curetanos de Fresnillo y organizamos el Tour Cure, así le llamamos.
Oye, y platícame ese Tour Cure, ¿nada más son ustedes dos el tour o cómo está el numerillo?
De Monterrey sí salieron como 30 gentes y ahorita venimos varios, pero ahorita andamos todos regados. Es que nomás pedimos los boletos y nos tocó así, entonces andamos todos regados.
Si no es indiscreción aquí entre nos, ¿cuánto se gastaron en este Tour Cure?
Pues la neta ni cuentas hemos hecho, pero pues vale la pena, ¿no, güey?
¿Cuánto?
Mucho. Pero
Mucha
si hubiéramos podido gastar más, hubiéramos gastado más.
No importa.
Le hace, nos quedamos pobres.
The Cure en México. Transmisión exclusiva.
Hola Robert, bienvenido a México. Una pregunta. Después de Blood Flowers dijiste que iba a ser el último disco de The Cure. ¿Qué pasó con eso? Y también dijiste que iba a ser un disco solista y que iba a ser muy heavy. Y pues bueno, vienes con un disco un poco alegre. También, ¿qué pasó con eso?
La verdad es que sí se suponía que Blood Flowers iba a ser el último disco, pero pues él conoció, y la última cosa que iba a ser The Cure iba a ser el DVD de Trilogy, que mencionaba los 3 discos, pero después conoció a Ross Robinson, que lo convenció que The Cure tenía que hacer un disco, no un disco solista, y realmente no tomó mucho para convencerlo. Digo, la idea original es que The Cure terminara después de 25 años de estar juntos, pero él no pudo, llegó el momento y no pudo hacer que terminara, pero el disco solista algún día sucederá.
Robert, las últimas entrevistas que te han hecho, las últimas declaraciones que has hecho han girado un poco en torno a que estás tocando ahora para audiencias muy jóvenes, para audiencias de adolescentes. Entonces, viéndolo a la distancia, ¿cuál crees tú que haya sido la fórmula de The Cure para permanecer en el gusto popular de la gente durante tantos años y haber sobrepasado etiquetas como post-punk, como gothic rock, y a gente como Siouxsie o como Bauhaus o Joy Division o gente de tu generación?
I think, referring back to the earlier question, I think that people of a certain type of nature connect with Cure for more than musical reasons. I think they empathize with what we do and how we do it. I think they connect with the words.
Que bueno, él piensa que él atrae a cierta gente de cierto tipo que se identifican con su música, pero no solo por la música, por la forma de ser o por las letras, por todo lo que significa el grupo. Realmente es algo que no entiende cómo sucede, y sobre todo toda esta gente, bueno, cuando va creciendo, la gente cuando crece se aleja de eso, mientras que la gente joven todavía se entusiasma. Él particularmente se rodea de gente que es 20 años menor que él en casa, en donde vive, y todavía se entusiasma y ve que esa gente tiene otra forma de ver las cosas. Cuando la gente mayor a los 40 años, muchas de las personas como que ya nada los sorprende, y pues ellos siguen teniendo una forma de ver las cosas muy, pero muy diferentes, muy extrañas. y eso le llega a la gente joven, y pues él está agradecido de que sí le siga gustando y que se puedan mantener todo este tiempo dentro de la gente joven. Él, pues la gente que ya es mayor, la gente como de su edad o para arriba, pues es la gente que entra a un mundo imaginario del rock orientado hacia los adultos, donde solo compran 5 discos al año, y esos son los discos que se mantienen en las listas de popularidad.
I listen to music still. I'm exactly the same as when I was 15. I put on music and I turn it right up.
Él particularmente sigue siendo el mismo. Él tiene la misma pasión hacia la música que cuando tenía 15 años, y disfruta mucho y trata todo lo que hace de la misma forma, con mucha pasión y con mucho agradecimiento. Y la verdad, pues es la forma de las cosas, de ver las cosas como la han tenido, pues es una idea bastante joven y bastante agradecida.
The Cure en México, transmisión exclusiva.
Lo que están viendo ahorita, señores, es el pasillo que conduce ya a la sala en donde se va a llevar a cabo el concierto de The Cure. Y a mi derecha estoy con un compadre que chequen su playera, por favor. Checa la playera, dice To Oscar Robert. Como se darán cuenta, bueno, pues la tipografía de la letra de Robert Smith no es la más agraciada del mundo, ¿verdad, Oscar?
Claro, no es agraciada, pero pues con que la haya firmado ya lo vale todo.
¿Cómo conseguiste ese autógrafo?
Pues fui a la entrevista que le dio la radiodifusora Órbita. Y bueno, lo paré y le dije que si me la podía firmar.
¿Qué pasó cuando te acercaste a que te autografiara la playera?
Pues me dijo que lo que pasa es que esa playera se vendió por internet en edición limitada, y me dijo que era de los pocos fans que la tenían.
Claro, porque aquí está www.thecure.com. Y acá atrás, ¿qué pasa? Ah, ¿qué tal,
Viene todas las secciones de la página.
Perfecto. ¿Esta playera cuánto te costó?
Esta playera me costó 50 libras, creo.
Por 50 libras, sí, claro, porque es del website oficial de Inglaterra.
Inglaterra, sí.
Te gastaste una lana, te gastaste casi 800 pesos mexicanos.
Sí, me gasté una lanota, pero pues lo vale.
¿En qué sección estás el día de hoy?
A1.
A1, fila B. Este señor está en la fila 2, casi le va a poder oler las patas a Robert Smith.
Me caerá el sudor, pero...
Esto es un fan y no pedazos. Esto es TELEHIT en el concierto de The Cure en el Palacio de los Deportes.
TELEHIT número 1.
Estás viendo TELEHIT.
And
es la entrevista exclusiva con The Cure en su visita a México, solo en Telehit.
Carnales de Telehit, ¿cómo están? Ahora sí que estamos de manteles largos en este especial porque tenemos a una persona que, bueno, muchos de ustedes lo han estado siguiendo a través de los años y tenemos la oportunidad de platicar el día de hoy con Robert Smith de The Cure. Robert, first of all, thank you very much for the time of this interview.
That's all right.
So, this album, talking about the creating process of the album, what is the big difference between this album and the other one of The Cure?
The most obvious difference is the fact that we played this live in the studio, which sounds strange, but
at live?
Yeah, well, I actually sang as we were playing, which normally I don't. Normally we record in layers and we develop the songs and then we change them and I chop them up and usually the process of making the record happens whilst, it sounds weird this, whilst we're in the studio. We go in with a kind of an idea of what we want to do and then we work it out as we record. With this one, because we had Ross Robinson producing, he took care of all that before we went in the studio. We spent a month playing and playing and playing and playing. So when we went in the studio, we actually just spent each day, we set up and we recorded. So it's essentially, it's a live album.
And I mean, you've been in a lot of times in a record studio. What could it be like one of the best memories that you have during the time that you were doing an album?
Well, I actually had more fun making this record than any other record I've made.
Why?
Because it was so intense all the time. I really loved it. Ross works as hard as I do, and he is as intense as I can be. He's enthusiastic and totally involved in the process. So it was really nice for me to have someone who was there all the time, because normally the band isn't there all the time. They do their bit and then they disappear. So most of the time I feel kind of quite lonely when I'm making albums. Which is a good thing, I suppose. When I'm singing, it helps me to.
And sometimes you need that loneliness to create better music.
Yeah, I mean there are thousands of times in the studio when I've thought this is so good. I mean, really, every time that you finish a song is a really great feeling. You know, every time you finish a mix of a song, it's like you've made something from nothing. It's like the reason why I still do it. That feeling.
Yeah, and talking about memories of yourself, you have two older brothers, right?
I've got an older brother, one older brother.
One older brother.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing that you learned from him?
To love books, actually.
Really?
Yeah. When I was young, he used to read to me all the time.
What is your favorite book?
My favourite book of all time?
It's hard, I know.
It's very hard. I mean, I suppose just because a book that still holds a place in my heart is the Gorman Girls trilogy by Mervyn Peake, which is just a kind of like a fantasy set of fantasy stories, but only because it kind of reminds me of a certain time in my childhood. I've read far better books, you know. I mean, I can't, honestly, I couldn't tell you what my favourite book is. There is no such thing. I like too many different books.
And do you have any like younger brother or sister? No?
I've got an older sister and I've got one younger sister.
And what is the hardest thing for you to be in the middle of your family?
I'm not really in the middle because my older brother and sister are 12 and 15 years older. Because my mum wasn't supposed to have any more children, and then suddenly I came along. So me and my little sister we were always together, and my older brother and sister were together. So it's more like two teams rather than being in the middle.
Yeah.
You
TELEHIT.
Talking about that time, did you like comics or superheroes at that time?
Yeah, and I still do. In fact, I spent all day yesterday reading comics.
What is like your favorite comic or your favorite superhero?
Deathlock the Demolisher.
The Demolisher. Cool, that's great. And do you have, did you have at that time like any pets in your house?
Yeah, I grew up with, we always had pets in our house. I haven't got any now though.
Really?
We always used to have like cats and dogs and rabbits and hamsters and guinea pigs
like a zoo.
Yeah.
And at that time you also started...
And then they always used to die, and I was like... like they do.
And at that time you also started admiring great artists such as Jimi Hendrix. What is like the most important thing that you admire of him?
Well, when I was... and that's in the 60s, I was like I discovered him through my older brother. He used to play him, and I was kind of probably 7 years old when I first became aware of who Jimi Hendrix was, and that's 1967, 1968.
Yeah.
He just represented, I suddenly realised that there was a big colourful world out there, because at that age everything's to do with kind of just school and home. You don't really do very much at the age of like 7, 8, 9. You have no independence, you really have no power. I mean, you don't for a long time, you can go through till you're 18 really until that happens, but I began to dawn on me that this weird bloke played guitar and sang as a job, and I thought it just stuck with me. And so all the way through school I always used to think, people say, what do you want to be? And I'd say something like, I'll be a gardener, or I'll be a writer. In my head I think, I'll be Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, and well, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jimi Hendrix impersonator. Yeah.
And after you've been involved in music like for 3 decades, what is like the biggest mistake that you think that music industry is still doing right now?
There's so many. I think the stupidest thing that they're doing actually is the amount that they're forcing. Just as an example, like the amount that they're forcing people to pay for downloads is too much. Like that they all just got together and forced Apple to increase the price of downloads on iTunes, when in fact they should be reducing it. It should become like 5 cents a song, and all the money should go to the artist. I mean, they're kind of, they haven't really quite grasped. And there's been this ongoing struggle for the last 5 years, because the means of distribution, as in any industry, is the key, and the majors have been struggling to kind of contain and constrain how music's like distributed on the internet, and they've come up with such half-baked ideas, and none of them have really worked. And the fact that they're I mean, if you buy it now at the moment, the way that current rates are, if you buy our album on iTunes track by track, you will actually end up paying almost as much as if you went and bought the CD. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. So that's just one very obvious big mistake that they're making, because and as an artist it hurts, because they're forcing people to download music illegally still, because no one's going to pay like 50 cents for a song. I mean, why should you? It exists as digital information. It's like, it doesn't cost anyone anything, it's like. So anyway, that's one thing. The other mistake is that, which hurts a lot of younger artists, it doesn't really impact on us as much, is the ludicrous amount of money that they spend on things like Pop Idol and all that sort of shit. It's like all the money that they generate from other bands goes into these ridiculous competitions to find one band that will sell like 1 million albums for like 1 month, and then no one hears about it, and it's this kind of constant, everything's speeded up to the point where everything has to happen now, everything has to sell now, and there's almost like a disregard for like cultivating artists who will like make music in the future. So
TELEHIT. En un momento regresamos con más de la visita de The Cure a México. En la transmisión exclusiva de TELEHIT. The Cure en México. Transmisión exclusiva.
¿Qué es lo que te ha mantenido vivo a lo largo de 45 años y que parece que todavía para largo, de aguantar toda esa presión?
Well, there have been a couple of periods of me doing this where I haven't really
Él, pues digo, por un par de periodos de tiempo, realmente a principios de los 80 y a finales de los 80 realmente no le preocupaba el mañana, pero desde que cumplió 30, pues decidió a disfrutar más, que ya ha llegado tan lejos y pues aprender a disfrutar de otras formas. Él, digo, le gusta experimentar las cosas, no que se las platiquen, y pues ha tenido suerte que tiene una constitución muy fuerte, muy sólida, que lo ha mantenido haciendo eso. Digo, es triste ver a la gente mayor como pues se vuelve grande y siguen teniendo ese tipo de experiencias, y cómo se mueren o empiezan a padecer las cosas y empiezan a sentirse tristes, y es muy triste verlos caer.
The Cure en México, transmisión exclusiva.
Me encuentro ubicado en un lugar donde, bueno, se están vendiendo absolutamente todas las cosas de The Cure. Por aquí veo libros, por aquí veo playeras, CDs, hay pins, hay también el rollo para el ratón de la computadora, ya saben, el mousepad, por ahí está. Y bueno, por acá están unas mujeres que están comprando merchandising. Hola, ¿cómo te llamas?
Erika.
Erika, ¿qué te compraste?
Una playera.
Una playera, muy fan de The Cure.
Pues sí,
¿Desde hace cuánto?
desde que iba en la secundaria.
Si tuvieras la oportunidad de estar face to face con Robert Smith, ¿qué le dirías?
Que es mi ídolo y me encanta este mundo de depresión. Me encanta que no se considere ochentero, eso me encanta bastante. Y que siga haciendo música para siempre, es mi ídolo.
Checa la malla de este compañero, ¡guau! ¡Wow! ¡Qué buena malla! Así te vestías de seguro cuando ibas en la prepa, compadre. Sí. ¿Y ahora qué ha pasado? Ya cuando vas a trabajar creo que no te has de vestir así.
Obviamente no, pero sigo de negro nada más.
¿Nada más?
Sí.
Oye, ¿qué esperas de The Cure en esta visita a la Ciudad de México?
Pues lo máximo, ya me lo dio hace 2 días y ahorita espero lo mejor.
Es una noche fría, es una noche oscura como debe de ser. Está lloviendo en la Ciudad de México. No sé si se alcanza a ver el vaho en la cámara. Por ahí está bastante frío, así que pues estos son los detalles, esto es lo que está sucediendo con la primera visita de The Cure a la Ciudad de México, más no la primera visita a nuestro país. Esta es la segunda visita de The Cure a México.
In a lot of the songs of The Cure, you talk in a certain way about love. What is like your own definition about love?
I suppose for me it's the inability to kind of comprehend a life without the person that I love. Yeah. I couldn't imagine it. I think I mean it's that sense that you would honestly feel like you would die if that person wasn't there.
And of course, one of the most important person in your life about that is Mary, your wife. What do you think that is the best of her?
That she puts up with me. It's true.
And well, that's true. Yeah, of course. And some other people have told me that they listen to the Cure songs when they're sad because they feel that somebody understands them. But what about you? What did you do when you're sad and try to forget for a little while your problems?
Well, I mean, all through the years there have been various artists. One artist that I always refer back to, even when I'm making a record, as the epitome of all that I think is good about songwriting and singing, is Nick Drake. Yeah. I've always really loved what he does because it's very, very emotional, it's very heartfelt. And there's lots of artists down the years that I can connect with. I mean, mainly it's like with vocalists, so you can feel the singing from the heart, and you just like, you want to just lose yourself in that music. But there's also, strange enough, my favourite music for the last few years to listen to when I'm feeling a bit down is Mogwai, and they don't really have any vocals.
That is in the Curiosa Festival, right?
Yeah, and I think the reason is because it's the most beautiful music I've ever heard, and there's no words, so I actually sing. So I just sing to myself when I'm listening to it. So it's I find it very therapeutic actually. They're the best band on the planet.
Cool. And I was reading the lyric of one of your songs, Us or Them, and the first thing that I think is like, wow, this song is like really dedicated to Tony Blair. Is that right or no?
It's not exclusively Tony Blair. It's more, it's really aimed at Western media and their portrayal of everything as being black and white, and it's the simplification and the dumbing down of culture. And it's taken like I just feel in the last few years that it's almost like the tapes running backwards. We're all being kind of like taken back to the womb, and everyone you talk to out of the television set, as you know, I feel like I'm 5 years old. They're saying like, you know, these are the bad guys and these are the good guys, and it's like, and the world isn't like that. So it's very unusual for The Cure to do any kind of political song, because I like our music to be timeless and escapist, and I don't really like to put it in the now. But I got so angry, and have been so, you know, I'm getting angrier about it as the months go by. The way that, I mean, taking Tony Blair as an example, just because he happens to lead the country that I live in, it's the idiocy of like someone who has the trust. I mean, one of the very few leaders in the Western world who actually has had the trust of a big percentage of the population, and completely abuses that trust by following North America's lead, you know, and not just the fact that he makes that decision, but lies to everyone about why he's making the decision, and that's it. And then expects everyone to forget that he's abused that trust and just like and say, well, yeah, right, but trust me now, you know. And you can't do that. It's like with integrity. Once you lose it, once you sell out, you can't decide that you want to get it back. And it's the same with trust. If someone trusts you and you abuse that trust, that's it. You can't. You're an untrustworthy person. So all those factors, I think it's a shame, because even I felt that 4 years ago that we might have a leader that would actually socially do some good in our country, because I think he had some good ideas, but it's like you're constantly let down by people, you know. It's unfortunately, it seems to be, it's human nature.
And for you, what is the biggest challenge of being the lead singer of The Cure?
Staying sane.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because when I do this, it's the gaps between us doing this are quite long, and I forget sometimes how disturbed it makes me feel. You know, the constant attention, doing things like this, doing the press conference and stuff. It's just, I mean, I don't really feel comfortable doing it, I suppose. Yeah. I like singing, but the rest of it I can kind of do without most of the time.
Now, you know how to play guitar, bass, keyboards, even drums. Is there any other instrument that would you like to learn how to play it?
I've had a cello in my house for more than 10 years.
Really?
With a book on it that says, learn how to play cello. And I still haven't got past page 3.
If you were not a musician, what other thing would you like it to be?
I would nothing really. No? That's the weird thing, because I mean, whatever else I was, even if I was a writer, or if I could decide I'd want to be something else, you know, if I had the ability to do something else and enjoy it, I would still pick up a guitar and play. So I'd still end up being a musician, you know, because that's what the thing that I enjoy most is making music. So it's weird, really. I mean, I'd like to be an astronomer. Actually,
really?
I'd like to have a huge, like a seriously big telescope at my disposal.
Do you like the universe and the stars?
I've had a telescope for about 15 years now. It's like my one hobby is astronomy. But you know, if I was an astronomer, I'd probably like nothing. I really wish I was a guitarist.
Of course. And another question: if you could choose, or if you could go back in time and see yourself during the time of Three Imaginary Boys, what advice did you tell to yourself?
There's nothing actually major that I would do differently. I think that I've always followed my instincts. Every decision that I've made with regards to like the band and what I do with the band has been how I feel, is like what I feel should be right. So I've never really taken anyone's advice about anything. So the mistakes that I've made have been my mistakes. I mean, I would probably make them again, even if I went back and I said, look, don't do this. I'd say, what do you know? You know? I probably would. I would got rid of Fiction Records 5 years earlier. That's the only thing I would do differently. But the rest of it is, you know, it's been good.
Okay, last question. I don't know if it's even a valid question, but did you watch the movie Nightmare Before Christmas of Tim Burton?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I think it's a very excellent film. Yeah.
I really think that if Jack was a really normal person, he would be like a big The Cure fan.
Do you think? It reminds me of Billy Corgan, actually.
Billy Corgan? Yeah. Well, yeah, in some way.
But Billy's a big Cure fan, so
yeah, Billy's a The Cure fan. Yeah. So do you like that movie?
I think it's excellent. It's really excellent. I would like to have made a video like that, actually, with that kind of style, which is sort of like very dark animated stuff. But it's very time consuming, and it's very unlikely that we would do it. I'd love to write music for a film like that. Right. That would be my one ambition, would be to write the entire score for a film that's as good as that. I don't know. I've got a favourite director, actually. I mean, because I like different people for different reasons. Yeah. I like up until recently, I liked the Coen brothers. I've always liked Tim Burton. He's good. David Lynch is kind of an interesting director. So there's a number of, you know, Pedro Almodovar is a really good director. There's some seriously good directors around. I would like to at some point collaborate with someone, not at that stature, but just someone much, you know, probably on their first film, and just make a film soundtrack. That's one of the few ambitions that I have left.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time in this interview. Anything can you say to all of your fans that watch you in Monterrey or that is going to watch you here in Mexico City?
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Robert.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Carnales, pues bueno, esto fue Robert Smith. Definitivamente una banda que ha marcado un parteaguas dentro de la historia musical, en exclusiva para Telehit. No le cambies, continúen viendo todo esto. Telehit.
Estás viendo TELEHIT.